news that came out of Intel. It was actually kind of a blog post that came out from their senior VP, and they're just providing a little bit of an update about the new chip production that they're engaged in. So last month, I think middle of January, news broke that Intel was going to be entering the ASIC chip production game for cryptocurrency mining. And this post, I don't see it. Yeah, here it is. This post came on February 11th, so 5 days ago. And I just wanted to pick out a few of the key pieces here. Here's one. This is their senior VP talking.
All right, great research we got going on here.
Well, I'm reading actual quotes. Our customers are asking for scalable and sustainable solutions, which is why we're focusing our efforts on realizing the full potential of blockchain by developing the most energy efficient computing technologies at scale. So they're super focused on energy efficient. And then another quote that I've got here is, we are engaged directly with customers that share our sustainability goals. Argo blockchain, Block, formerly known as Square, and Grid infrastructure are among our first customers for this upcoming product. And I have this highlighted because I was under the impression that Block was building out their own engineering team to create their own ASIC mining chips. And maybe Block has changed course on that. I haven't heard anything about Block changing course, but it looks like they're at least engaging with Intel on this. And then the last quote that I have is here: Intel Labs has dedicated decades of research into reliable cryptography, hashing techniques, and ultra low voltage circuits. We expect that our circuit innovations will deliver a blockchain accelerator that has over 1,000 times better performance per watt than mainstream GPUs, which would be insane. But yeah, I especially wanted to get your takes, Brandon, on this thing with Block. Didn't they come out and say that they were hiring a team of engineers to do this?
Yeah, so they said they're hiring a team of engineers to develop Bitcoin miners, whether that's home or more commercial miners. That was still kind of unclear. But yeah, I agree. I see another article here that says, Intel says Jack Dorsey's Block is their first customer for a Bitcoin mining chip, right? So, to be honest, it's not really super surprising to me. Especially with somebody who's been in the chip game for so long, like Intel, where it's like, okay, well, if you can't beat them, then we'll outsource it, right? Because they're one of the better chip manufacturers globally. I think there's very few companies that do the Apple model where they kind of produce everything in-house. More the Android method is produce like the chips and, different parts of everything, whether it's a phone, miner, computer or something, in various places. Whereas, the Apple model is kind of developing everything in-house. And so it's definitely easier, and, it would allow Square/Block to roll out a Bitcoin miner sooner, right? Because they got to figure out, all right, how do we develop a chip? We got to hire the right people. Like there's all these various factors in there where it's like, if we don't hire the right people and they fuck it up, like, now we're delayed another 6 months, we're delayed another 8 months, whatever, until we find the right people, find the right development team, et cetera, et cetera. So I think like overall although I don't really like to see it as like a Block investor, like it makes sense, right? Because it'll allow them to go to market quicker. They can, maybe send some people over to Intel. I doubt Intel will be like super, I guess, into sharing the information on that, but maybe they will, because Block's gonna be like, hey, we need to know the ins and outs of this chip in order to develop like an overall miner for it, right? So it'll be interesting to kind of see the development of it going forward. Whether or not Block hires some people from Intel too. There's a lot of different situations and scenarios that this could go. But overall, it just seems like it's the right play if they want to go to market earlier. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. One of the things that Dorsey tweeted about back in October when he first said that they were entering the mining game was vertical integration. Like he specifically mentioned the fact that a lot of these chips are manufactured outside of companies, and that's a big thing. Like they need to be able to produce their own silicon. And so it's an interesting little tidbit from this, because I don't think Block has announced this. Maybe they did. I might be wrong about that, but I feel like that would have blown up pretty big on Twitter had they announced something like that.